right, welcome to the September 2015 edition of the Top 5 Technology Tips for Teachers. I bumped it down from 10 to 5 because people told me the last video was too long. So, tip number 1, keeping your computers backed up did not end when you received your new computer. You need to make sure that all important data on all computers that you use is backed up consistently. If we have a problem with your computer that is going to take longer than 20 or 30 minutes to fix, we are just going to re-image your computer. It takes about 5 minutes to re-image a computer, so that cuts down on time spent troubleshooting for us. So make sure you're keeping everything backed up. Speaking of backups, Google Drive. Sometimes, for whatever reason, Google Drive disconnects from your computer. So I recorded this little video here today. My computer, you notice Google Drive was not up on my menu bar. So to get Google Drive back up and running, I had to go to Finder, go to Applications, find Google Drive, and double click it. And then once I double clicked on Google Drive, you'll see up there on the top menu bar, Google Drive is reconnected. If I click on it, it says it's preparing to sync. So it's going to go find all the files since the last time it was connected that have been changed or added. I have 155 of them. And then that's going to be updated to Google Drive. So just about once a week, I would make sure that your Google Drive is connected and that everything is backing up. Also make sure that before, if we do have to re-image your computer, make sure that you have everything backed up to Google Drive. So make sure that that little Google Drive icon is up there and that everything is synced up. Third tip, Microsoft Office apps are now free on iOS devices. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad and you want to download the Word app, Excel app, different Microsoft apps, those are now free. You used to have to pay for them, they're now free. So check that out in the iOS App Store. Tip number 4, this is the most important one. Do not update your Mac computers to 10.11, which is nicknamed El Capitan. Apple is releasing this update on September 30th. So on September 30th, if you go to your App Store and you click on updates, you'll see there are no updates available right now, but on September 30th, you will see an OS X update to 10.11, which is El Capitan. Do not update. We will update our computers here in the technology department first, and we'll test out, see if it breaks anything. Then we will have some of our student techs and then some teachers update for them to use it for a little bit to see if it breaks anything, and then we'll let you know when you're free to update. If you update it and something breaks, what we will have to do is re-image your computer to pull it back down to 10.10, which is Yosemite, which is what you currently have. All right, elementary teachers, that's the only 4 tips for you. This last tip only applies to our middle and high schools. So middle and high school teachers that are using Canvas, there is a new feature in Canvas that I wanted to share with you. It's grading periods. So if you go into a course that you are the teacher of, and then you go click on Settings on the left menu, then click on Feature Options at the top, you can turn on multiple grading periods. Now I'm going to pause this video for just a second. You want to turn on multiple grading periods, but you see there's this option to post to SIS, post grades to SIS. That's what I came out and talked to you about the gradebook passback between Canvas and Power Teacher. Notice that says beta. That means it's not working quite right yet. So leave that off for right now. I'll let you know when it's time to turn it on. But for right now, leave that off. But we can turn on multiple grading periods. So go ahead and turn that on. You can click back on course details and then click on grades over on the left hand side. This will pull up your grade book and you will see a drop down. This for first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, third 9 weeks, fourth 9 weeks. I have built those out at the course or at the account level, and they're built by our calendar for this school year. So to see what this looks like as a student, you click on Settings and then Student View on the right hand side, and then the student will click on their grades link, and then they will have a drop down to break grades apart by different 9 weeks. This is something a lot of you have wanted for a long time. You'll see where it becomes beneficial about third 9 weeks when they have a lot of assignments and quizzes in Canvas. It's just a way for them to organize their gradebook and a way for you to organize your gradebook a little bit better. Our last tip is a bonus tip for one-to-one teachers specifically. I've had a lot of requests from teachers to block messaging, FaceTime, games, YouTube, various and sundry applications. And what we have had to go back to is you've got to have strong classroom policies and procedures that are put in place to ensure students know what I like to call the rules of engagement for using their computers. We could block messages, we could block FaceTime, but I can assure you they will find other ways around that. They will find other messaging apps, they will find other videoing apps. There's just no way for us to block them all and students be able to use their computers in a good way. So make sure you have those policies and procedures in place and then address the behavior problems. So if a student is using messaging when you have told them that that is not acceptable in your classroom and you catch them doing it, there should be severe consequences. We all know that you aren't going to catch every one of them. That's okay. But when you catch one, and you will, make it very clear that this is against the rules, and that will deter other students from wanting to break the rules. Please don't use technology as the punishment. It's okay to take up the laptop for 5-10 minutes as a punishment, but if you take the laptop up, say overnight, that's not only punishing the child, it's punishing every other teacher that teaches that child. We want to address the problem. So if a student got up and walked out of your classroom, there would be consequences for that action. So if a student is using technology in an inappropriate way, there are consequences for that behavior. So we're asking that you address the behavior and not just try to use technology as the punishment. Share your ideas on what has worked with you with your fellow teachers. I was at a school this morning and one teacher was sharing that when she gives a test, her students have to put their browser in full screen mode. And her first question on the test is, do they understand the rules for that? And if they get out of full screen mode, that is considered cheating on her test. And she can see, she has her room rearranged so she can see all the students' screen, and it's easy for her to see if they are out of that full screen mode. I thought that was a great tip and something easy for teachers to do. And there are lots of teachers out there that have come up with ideas like that. So share those with your fellow teachers at your school. If you have any questions on good tips and tricks like that, email me. I'm aharris@rcsd.ms. You can email me and I will be happy to share what I have learned from other teachers on what works best. So remember, this is our learning year with one-to-one, and we all should be learning together. I do want to say everybody has done a great job. It warmed my heart to see on the first day of school, most everybody was using those laptops, and that's what we wanted to see. So y'all done a great job implementing one-to-one and getting us going, and we all thank you for that.